Hello and welcome to this week's Funnyfarm Pod guest special. It's guest special and it's also World Cup special. Yes, World Cup special. As you know, some of the big sides have been knocked out. So we got like Congo, Germany,
Yeah, Netherlands have gone all the.
and then obviously the smaller shit clubs have gone out really early on, Scotland and that. Anyway, how are you, Cal?
Charlie, hang on. Whoa, Charlie, what's in your chest again, big man? What's that in your chest?
I reckon what was in your chest got ripped out, didn't it, last week, mate? With fucking.
Absolutely not. Because honestly, everyone keeps saying this, going, he's hoping for a good result against Brazil. No, of course we fucking went. It was Brazil. You think a bunch of council estate boys, bunch of boys for the scheme that used to bottle each other at 14, were going against the creme de la creme of le football? Where the fuck? We were all going just 2-0. If we can lose by just 2-0, we've got a good chance.
Mate, obviously, I'm not a wanker like you Scottish are, so I was actually wanting Scotland to fucking win, mate. And I think it's exactly the same. England always want Scotland, Wales to do, Ireland, whatever, to do well. And you guys just want us to fucking crash. And it's because we're better at stuff than you. But, I mean, that's the thing. But, fucking hell, Scott McKenna, what a cunt. Absolute mistake for the first one. Hendry, what a cunt. Complete mistake for the second one. And I thought he played really well. And the first two goals were just, fuck me, just complete.
Well,
Could have been avoided.
If we go back to the Haiti game, I can't remember the exact starting 11, but when that came up, I was because I went up to Scotland with my wee boy, and he watched his very first Scotland game. He's only 3. But he was sat next to his granddad, his Uncle Stevie, he was sat in my lap, I had my can of Tennent's. It wasn't about 1 o'clock in the morning, so he wasn't really paying attention. And he got to watch Scotland score a goal in the World Cup. So
Yeah.
I know he's not going to remember it, but that starting 11 was really strange. And I think the 3 best players that we've got on that pitch is McTominay, Gannon Doak, and Lyndon Dykes. The fact that they didn't start till later on in the game. And then Morocco as well. Morocco, I don't think we got our arse in gear to about maybe 33, 34 minutes in. And even then, we got close a couple of times. I was right proud of them. Brazil was a disgrace. Well, it was a shocking game. It was they were trying to do what they normally do when they're trying to play it safe. And I think what we should have done was gone hell for leather. Don't care about injuries. Don't care about yellow cards. Get the fucking points. Get through past the group stages, and then because that's ground we've never covered before. Sit down, recalculate the map. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what Steve Clarke did was, right, boys, these are 5 and 6 ranked in the world, Morocco and Brazil. It was a hard group. Let's be really honest about that. And we're not. When you look at the size of the pool of players that we've got, there's 6.5 million people in Scotland altogether. So if you half that down the middle, that's 3 million boys. And then of playing age, you've got about 600, 700,000 players to play from. England, they've got pools of 11 million? Something like that. Do you know what I mean?
You know what? I mean, it doesn't really matter the football because at the end of the day, everybody's talking about the fucking Scottish fans and how fucking great they were.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's talking about them, aren't they?
Absolutely. And
They're all over social media. They've been absolutely fucking outstanding, haven't they? They drank Boston dry.
I always like a bit of the banter, and I've got, of course, I live down in England, and I've got so many English friends down here. My son's half English, but we all have our problems in life, and I don't mind a wee bit of the banter. We know we're shit, but what I think gets under a lot of Scottish fans' skin is because it's British media. So you get BBC Scotland, you get the BBC. Even on a Scotland game, we could be playing Belarus, and 1966 is brought up, and then the King, when we got put out, we went, right, now that Scotland are out, rally round England. And we're going, that wouldn't be the other way about. So there is a bit of a disillusion. But I think the reason the Tartan Army are such good fans is because we know when we're going abroad, we're going there for a good time. And what I really think lets you England fans down, and it's not all England fans. I was with, do you know James Smith? We went to the pub to watch the Congo game. And I watched that first goal go in, and I watched the entire pub as I went, and I had to go, oh, no, don't cheer, you'll get stabbed. But I'm only joking. Again, just about the laugh. But it's the fans that go away that have this undeserved arrogance. And but don't get me wrong, Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane, you've got some world class fucking players on that team. What you don't have is a cohesive team.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you just watch these really silly, like Congo were getting into space that they absolutely had no business getting into.
Their goal that they scored, it was fucking.
Oh, that was a world class goal.
Yeah, how much space did they have? You know what I mean? It was like fucking hell. It was
Yeah.
crazy. It was crazy.
But
There was nobody closing them down. That's all it was. It's fucking.
But there is so many English fans that come up to me and go, "Oh, I root for Scotland all the time. Why are you not rooting for England?" And I go, "Eh." It's not that I don't root for England. It's just I don't. The English media around the England team puts me off it. But I love living in England. I love so many people down here. I've been treated really well. I've got a life down here. There's no anti-English sentiment from the Scottish fans. And what we feel back is a lot of anti-Scottish sentiment because it's very bitter and it's very arrogant, and we're told that we're shit all the time. And when we're sitting going, yeah, we know we're shit, but sitting in a pub listening to 17 variations of popular songs from the past 70 years with the word England or football crammed into it, and it's coming home every 2 years. It's just shut up, all right.
I bet you never order a Vindaloo, do you, Cal?
Do you know, every time I do it, my dad goes like that, just shakes his head and goes, "Get a fucking Madras, son. We're not a Vindaloo family."
I do think, like, with the whole football in, like, Britain and whatnot, I do think, like, it ought to be Scottish teams should play English teams. It should be.
I was going to say, if we brought Scottish teams into like the Premiership, into the English division, where would they sit? I mean, we've already got Welsh teams in there, haven't we? You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing, though. But again, and this is what would probably annoy a lot of Scottish fans: is you're saying bring them into the English league, like their step up. If you look at some of Celtic's history, for example, and again, my dad, he's going to hate me for saying this, and sorry, Tommy, that's my grandfather up. He's a big proddy. He won't like me saying this, but my Catholic family will. If you look at some of Celtic's track history, they absolutely they've got loads of silver, but they could hold their own in the English league. What I think they should be is a Scottish league, the English league, the Welsh league, and then a British league. If you took like a British league that came in, like the top 5 players, the top 5 team from Scotland, do you know what I mean? And I think that attitude would entice a lot more people, rather than saying, right, well, we've got the Premier League, we're going to bring in some Scottish teams. It's that little word and that little disconnect. But when you look at the money in English football, when you look at the sponsorship, when you look at the training programs, when you look at the pool of players, it's so incomparable that, yeah, if we had the same money that, say, Norway had, we would absolutely be smashing it. We wouldn't be talking about getting out of the group stages. We'd be talking about, can we make it to the quarterfinals? If we had that sort of fun, we had that sort of training, a lot of Scottish football is still very grassroots. And my dad, he doesn't support any of the big teams. He goes to his local Largs Thistle, and that was my grandfather. You know, may he rest in peace. He was huge for Largs Thistle, and they are like Division 1 or whatever. I don't know. I'm not that big into league football.
Your family live in Logs.
Yeah.
My family live in Logs.
Fuck off. Who's your family? Without revealing any details, because we might be going into criminal records here.
I've got family live in Logs. Yeah. I've been up there quite a bit. Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful down there. So you do you know the club? You ever been up to the football grounds?
No. I've normally pissed when I go up there.
There's not much else to do there, to be fair. There's pubs and chippies, and it's class.
My lad loves all the Viking stuff, you know, and all the story about the thistle and all that over there. And,
yeah.
That. He loves all that. I love like hopping around all the islands over to Butte and all that. Yeah.
Oh, so where my mum and dad stay. So I've got family in Largs, but where my mum and dad stay and where I spent the majority of my childhood was Skermally, which is just about 15 minutes up the coast. And across from Skermally, Weems Bay, you've got Rossie, which is on the Isle of Bute. But Millport is directly across the Largs, and that's Cumbria. And you can cycle around that in about 3 hours. But the Viking Festival, that was our best memories in childhood, because the Viking Festival for 1 week, and I think it's like end of August, All the fairground rides arrive. There's all the you can go and make your own drinking horn and spearheads and stuff.
Yeah.
And then
We need to get to
the
that.
one of my favourite memories, there used to be 2 rides that God knows how they ever passed health and safety, even back in the 70s, let alone the early 2000s. There was a Ferris wheel that only had 4 carriages, and the bar sat about a foot away from your chest and a foot above your knees, and it would spin like this, and it would go round, and you would just hear these people breaking ribs and arms and ankles, and you were just hurled round a metal cage. But there was another one called the Tagada, and it was very, very famous because it's a spinning disc, no seatbelts, and it slows down eventually and it goes boof, 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 and everyone falls into the middle. And me and my 2 pals, we got on it one year and we were 14 and we're like, yeah. We'd had a wee smoke, we'd had a wee drink, thinking we're mental. And we watched 6 boys from the LYT, that's the Largs Young Team, that's the gangs down there, they call them up there, they call them the young teams. And then about 6 Kilburney boys who they were fighting, and I looked and went, oh, fuck, they're going to fight in the middle of this. And they all took bottles out of their pocket and then sat down. And I'm hitting my mates going, we need to get off, we need to get off, we need to get off. And they're going, why? And then I saw the gate close and went, oh, fuck. And I was holding onto the bar going like, oh, no. So it was brilliant. It was good childhood.
Logs is great. Have you still got that spaceman outside the fucking cafe? There's a cafe in the middle of Logs and there's like a fucking astronaut outside.
It's now a giant Bigfoot, a big Yeti.
Oh, it's a Yeti now, is it?
Yeah, they changed it.
So the fella in the fucking Viking museum absolutely pissed off my kids because we went in there and like the kids going, can we have one of those helmets? You know, the ones with the horns on?
Yeah.
They cost us a fortune. Yeah, they got these big horns on. So we're sat in this like reproduction of a Viking dwelling inside the museum and all that. We're sat there. And the bloke goes who's telling us all about the Vikings, he's pointing to the kids going, they've never ever found a helmet with horns on. You've just fucking sold us 2.
It is very true. So the horn came on the helmet.
They've never ever found any Viking helmets with horns on.
No, it's because they attached it to
like
the
welling
the devil. It's because... So when they slaughtered all the monks, they said that they were demon men and devil men. So devil always had horns. So they took one of the drinking horns, banged 2 on the helmet, and then hung it up to say, if you ever see a helmet like this, it's the devil men, it's the Vikings, it's the Nords and whatever. They never bothered their arse with a horn on the helmet. It's completely impractical. I mean, they weren't fucking headbutting. That was our thing.
They were off their heads. I mean, that's where the word berserk comes from, which I found out on that tour. Berserk. Yeah. The Vikings had these soldiers who just fucking go in. They're called berserkers, and they just go in, and the life expectancy was fucking a couple of minutes, but they just go in and chop everyone up, and they were called berserkers, and that's where berserk comes from. So my little lad now, he just says I'm a berserker. Anything he does, I'm a fucking berserker.
I was going to just say when you were talking about that cafe in Lark, so
Logs.
Do you think that the Yeti is based on one of the Lucas Larks?
No, it's actually one of the dead citizens of Largs. They've just frozen him in place.
But, what's that? You know, you like all that crime and all that. Wasn't it that Chris likes all of his crime? There's that story up the road, isn't there, about that couple? And didn't they foster somebody or something, and they've never found it. They were claiming it benefits for years and years and years, and never found the body.
So that's literally 7 minutes away from my mum and dad's house. We drove. Yeah. I still drive by that when I go to visit it. It's wild. Yeah.
Never found the body. They reckon they fed it to the pigs, don't they? Because they had a lot of pigs.
It rings a bell, but it's not like forefront of my mind, but it does ring a bell. That I think did they do a drama based on that?
Not yet.
Documentary.
But I think there's a drama in works though. There is a drama in works about it, because she was severely disabled, and they were getting, but they were apparently like feeding her the wrong medication to like fuck her up even more, so they could claim even more disability allowance and cares, all this sort of stuff. And then apparently buried her in the garden somewhere, just like in the mud, like not even in a respectful place. But it was, as you said, I think they had there was something to do with the ground where she didn't even just decompose; she just rotted away. And now, when you drive by the house, it's all boarded up, but they've completely paved over it. They've destroyed the house. But there's another good talking about crime. It's not fully a crime, but it's a great story. You should look this up. So the local paper is called Largs and Millport, and I used to date a girl up in Largs. This is when I was like 14, 15. And I won't say her name, but her big brother is the crux of this story. And the first time I went into her house to meet her and her dad, they had a big claymore on the wall, like the big massive Scottish sword. And I was like, oh, is that a replica? And they're like, nope, we sharpen it. And I was like, cool, not fucking with you ever again. And then a few years later, basically, there was a fight between the brother and the dad. And the girl, I nearly said her name there, God, stepped in and he twatted her with a guitar. The dad then battered him. And then the girl phoned the police on the dad. And when the police came to arrest the dad, the son went, you can't take my dad, you're not taking him. And they went, well, he's coming with us. He took the claymore off the wall, cut a Polis's hands like in half, and then started smashing up the car. They drove away, and then he walked through Largs Main Street, where that cafe is you're talking about, screaming like, who wants it? With his shirt off and all that. And everyone ran inside and upstairs. But being that we're Scottish, we can't even take a crisis seriously. So there was people poking out the window going, the English are that way, pal. Freedom, the bastards, eh? But they were just noising him up. So he's going up to the shops and hitting on the door and going, it's sword proof. Get a fucking gun, you cunt. If you look that up, if you look up Claymore attack in Largs and Millport, that story will come up. And it's a lovely wee seaside town, but we're still bunkered.
Yeah, it's a bastard to get a hotel, a taxi. I went to a wedding on a few parties in the Brisbane Hotel. Is it the Brisbane Hotel?
Yeah. My mate's wedding. Yeah.
It's a bastard to get a taxi from there.
Yeah, no Uber. No Uber in the west coast of Scotland, mate. You have to know the taxi company, and they're not fucking polite about it as well. You're like, oh, you got a taxi? It'll be an hour, pal. Oh, you not got one sooner? Do you want a taxi at all? And you're like, oh, no.
It's like fucking Karens.
No, we don't have Karens, mate. We've just got cunts.
Hey, what's all this, Calum, about you being in an advert? I saw something briefly on Facebook. You being in an advert?
I think I'm the only person who's fucking seen it. Calum hasn't even seen it.
I thought after your swinging club thing, you might have been doing some underwear adverts.
Oh, do you know?
You just opened two stories in one there, Chaz.
I know, yeah. Good two birds with one stone. Good, aren't I?
So with the Swingers Club, because that's funnier. I did a gig at a Swingers Club, and I'm a dirty wee bastard, so I was like, I'm getting in about this. And I said to everyone on the night, I said to Chris, I had worn a jockstrap, which is just covers your knob and your ankles out.
It's fucking my fault, this.
But I went up to Chris and I went, Chris, I've got an idea. I don't know if it'll work. I don't know if everyone will be upset. Maybe I'm going to get me too. Like, I'm wearing a jockstrap. Should I do the whole gig in it? And Chris went, if you don't do it, we're not friends anymore. And I was like,
you're fucking doing it.
Yeah. But then Jack King, the bastard, so where I stood, he says, right, and our next comedian, this Scottish guy. So I whipped the tweeds off, I'm stood there in my jockstrap. Chris is fucking hodding, he's beside himself. He was at Karen Shea as well. Everyone stood in the back just and then Jack talked for another 5 minutes, and it was quite cold where the lockers are. So I'm just stood holding my bollocks, covering my arse, so going, Jack, hurry the fuck up and bring me on. But yeah, did a full gig, and then obviously it was filmed, and I don't mind people sharing stuff of my gigs as long as they're not sending out bits. But the amount of times that photo of me stood in a jockstrap has appeared on comedy forums, group chats, Facebook posts, Instagram. I'm like, can people please stop sharing nudes of me? Like,
This is probably why you got your advert gig.
I think I shared it in one of the. They were asking for headshots the other day. I've pulled out.
Giving headshots.
So I sent the cock shot. Yeah.
It's so bad as well because it's side on and it's so small. It's very unimpressive.
It was cold, mate. It was cold. But And it was a great gig. I mean, I went on before Callum went on last, closed it. But yeah, I went on before him. And thank fuck I did, because I don't think anyone could have followed the jock in the jock. Not in a million years. Talking of gigs though, and just kind of backtracking just a fucking little bit. We did a gig together in a bear pit of a pub. Was it Sutton in Ashfield? And England were playing at 9 o'clock. It was the New Zealand one when we played New Zealand. And I was closing that one. And Callum went on just before the break, just before I went on. And the balls of the Scottish wee prick there, he went on and wound the whole crowd up about it. Fucking Scotland, you fucking English pricks, this, that, the other. I had to go on after him like, you fucking bellend.
I was, you know, you get a gig, and sometimes when you walk in, you go, like the one we did with Debbie, April, Marty, it was in Ladybrook, and we were looking, it was on Good Friday, and we were looking about going, this is either going to be a disaster or history, and it was a fucking ace gig. I walked into that one and thought, this is going to be a disaster. Do I just go balls to the walls, or do I try and just play the room? And but the guy that was noising me up the most, who I thought I'd really fucked off, came up to me at the bar afterward, put a big arm around me and goes, oh, so what part of Glasgow are you from? That was fucking brilliant, by the way. Oh, I love the Scots, mate. I love the Scots. And I went, you didn't sound like you loved the Scots. And I went, he was like, what part of Glasgow are you from? I went, Maryhill. And he went, oh, I used to do a lot of work in Govan. And I was like, oh, fuck, how do you know Govan? And I was like, all right, fair enough, big man. That's why the insults were so targeted, because you fucking know. When you've got insider knowledge, brilliant. You can rip the content, man. I'm absolutely fine with that. But yeah, that was a ropey gig, that.
I think I said to you and Kimmy, the best way to play this gig is try not to interact too much, just get your stuff out. And both of them went on immediately, interacted. I did a bit of interaction, but I went on and just played that. There was like the left-hand side of the room were okay, they were listening. The other side were a bit rowdy. But yeah, it was all right. It turned out all right in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, I think with one of the things I really love about your stand-up is your delivery can work in a quiet venue because of the tonality of it, and it can work in a bear pit. Whereas, I think if it hadn't been the England game, I could have gone on, done a little bit of crowd control, and tried to get into it a bit. But everyone just, as soon as I went up, hello, I'm Calum, and they heard the accent, and immediately people were like, looking around, and I was like, right, I'm going to make fun of that baldy bastard, I'm going to make fun of that cunt, I'm going to call him gay, he's a prick, fuck you, you're a slag, I'm out. And but I got a good laugh.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome Chris to the stage. we had a break in between, and Jack did a little bit, didn't he, before me? But no, it went all right. I was sat there the whole time thinking, this is going to be shit, and I do that when I go to like any gig where it's a bit of a bear pit. I always think this is going to be shit, and it always works. It's always all right, it's always decent, but yeah. No, you did a good job there, mate. But the swinging gig was just unreal. And I think I am a bastard, right? And if you ask me, like, should I do this? I am a cunt. I will go, yeah, mate, you've got to do that. You've got to do that. We're not mates if you don't do it. And he gets into his jockstrap, and I immediately thought, oh, mate, if this goes wrong, he's going to blame me, and we're not going to be mates anyway. And then you got on and you fucking battered it, mate. And I don't think you did that much of your material. You just literally riffed a lot, didn't you? But
there was a bit I did about shaving my arsehole, and I've written it, but I'd never tried it. And the whole crux of it is I'm going to do it on camera, just make sure I've got the right angle. The point of the bit is I talk about shaving my arsehole like this, and I'll look between the legs at the camera, but when you're wearing a jockstrap, I couldn't do it. But I didn't realise there was a mirror behind me. So as I bent over and my head was to the back of the crate, I went, don't worry, I'm not going to turn around, you don't want to see anything. Someone just shouted from the back, there's a fucking mirror! And I was like, oh. Everyone's just making eye contact with my chocolate starfish. It was bad.
I'm really glad that the audience got to see that, because at one point during his set, like where the stage was, it was like if you looked at like where we were, like in the wings kind of thing. I mean, it's a swinging club; it's not a stage. The bar was like here, and Calum was like in front of us, and at one point he just went, "This is just for the comedians," and fucking bent over in front of us, and we got to see the whole fucking lot, mate. I mean, my erection's not gone down since that, Calum. I'll be honest with you.
It was your is it your son-in-law as well?
Yeah, Brett. Brett,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, you focused on him, mate. He was fucking. He turned round to me. He turned round to me on the way home, and he goes, "If he'd have fucking come at me one more time, I was going to chin him." I goes, "Mate, he's a fucking Glaswegian. I wouldn't mess with him, and you're fucking half my size."
It was because he was sat there all uncomfortable, and obviously you've got your bosh bit, and I just
Yeah.
looked at him, put a leg up next to him, right so he was about eye line with my balls, and I just went, "I'll show you a bosh," and he went, "Get the fuck away from me, get the fuck." And then I tried to sit down next to him at one point, and it was like he'd been set on fire. He just went, "Get the fucking." It was fucking brilliant.
He was so
I
uncomfortable.
know, like, was it Sacha Baron Cohen, and he parachuted into that? Was it the MTV Awards, and he landed on them?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was doing that character, I don't know what it was.
Bruno.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious, that wasn't it?
Yeah. Couldn't have
Moving-
picked up fucking angrier guy to date to as well.
I know.
Brilliant. Moving on to the advert then, Cal, because I know we've spoken quite a bit. We both do a bit of acting. You've absolutely gone further than I have now in the acting world. Although I've got something coming out soon, which is going to be good. But that advert was wicked. I thought you were brilliant in it, mate. Honestly, I watched it. I was sat watching some YouTube stuff, and I'm just like, "Fuck me, Jane, that's Calum." And I didn't get enough time to fucking do anything with it.
What were you advertising?
You what?
It's a World Cup ad.
I was a
Oh, so yeah, it's Green King Pub. So basically, it was for the I can't remember if I did the World Cup first, and we didn't qualify for the last World Cup, but I did an advert, and I applied to be an extra, and it's a speaking role. And what pissed me off is on the advert on a different filming day, they had Ali McCoist, and I was like, "Fuck, it could have been the same scene." But the only word I had was I grabbed the camera and pull it towards me and go, "Oh, if Greece and Denmark can do it, so can the Tartan Army." That was my only line. Then 2 years later for the Euros, but it was 2, 3, whatever it was, because of COVID and all that shit. The same production company phoned me back and says, "Oh, we're doing for Green King. We're doing another advert. It's for the home nations." I was like, "All right, sound." And they went, "Do you want the co-lead?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds sick." So it's me walking through the streets. I do a wee bit, and then I'm pulling pints. I'm chatting away to people, and blah blah blah. And a few people on that shoot had done movies. There was one, the only other Scottish guy I'd seen, he only had one word, which was "aye." That was it. And he's like a champion kickboxer, and he's handing me his card, and he says, "Who's your agent? Who's your agent?" I went, "I just got a phone call, pal." And then the same production team phoned me for this one, and they said, "We want you to be the lead again, but for the Scottish side of the advert, and then we're going to do the exact same advert, but with a girl for the English side."
Yeah,
But
I've seen both of them now, actually.
I was going to say, everyone's sent me so many screenshots and so many videos and said, "Oh, I've still not seen the full fucker the way through. It doesn't pop up in my algorithm, and the production team won't send me the footage." But it was a pure class day, because you go in day one. It was in Lytham, near St Anne's, sort of near Blackpool sort of way. So I went, got a hotel, stayed overnight. And day one is loads of photography. So it's just loads of photographs, and they do for the posters. And when I took my wee boy up to Scotland, we went by a pub called the Druthies. And outside, because Belhaven and Green King, they're sister companies. So Green King in England, Belhaven in Scotland. And my wee boy Archie runs up, and he starts hitting a poster, and he goes, "Daddy! Daddy!" And I'm going, "What?" And I look down. There I am in the middle of fucking Glasgow city centre, just on a wee poster. So I went and got a wee photo of it, and people are looking at me going, "The fuck's that prick doing?" Because I still have my hat on. So it's not recognisable. And then day two, it was, and God love the girl. I think she was getting a bit nervous. I don't know what she'd done before. I loved her a bit. She was so fun. Everyone on set was absolutely amazing. A couple of comedians on set as well, but they were just background extras that I've got to network with, have a chat with. A lot of them do lots of different adverts for like Sky, Lidl, all this sort of stuff. I banged out my scene in about an hour, and they finished early, and they went, "All right, we've poured all these drinks. We can't throw them away. help yourselves. And everyone's like, oh, I'm driving. I was like, fucking me. I was just
I'm
next about
Scottish, you
6
fucking
minutes.
bastard. I'll have the fucking law.
I was walking about like I had a friend to give them to, and then sat down. They're like, who's that for? And I'm like, oh, it's just for both hands. 1, 2. I was fucking, yeah, fucked, mate. These are mine. But it was good fun. And I did loads of acting during lockdown. And just before lockdown, that's what I did before comedy. I did a play in Edinburgh. They had 3 sold out nights, 1 kind of didn't fill. And that sounds impressive when you say you sell out a play in Edinburgh. It was in the basement of a church, but it was still it was like a proper theatre, and it had a good 100 capacity. It's like an hour and a half play, and it's only you and one other person. I had this really epic monologue at the end where I basically, it stops before I throw myself off the crags, which is these big mountains up in Edinburgh. But I did this bit where I was screaming and I had tears streaming, and the people thought it was part of the act. I screamed so loud that I started choking and I couldn't get my words. And so I dropped to my hands and knees. And it looked like an Oscar-winning performance. And all my friends and family that came to see it, it was the best reaction ever, because they came up after and they went, yeah, that was actually good. And I went, what do you mean actually? And they went, oh, we all had lines prepared to tell you, yeah, that was really good, thinking it was going to be utter dog shit. And they're like, oh, you were actually really good. That was fucking amazing. So I tried to do bits and more. I've done a Zoom play. It's all a lot of unpaid stuff. But with the comedy, like I like doing dramatic roles, and I've written a lot of stuff, and I need other people to kind of come and do it and just get stuff filmed, because I wouldn't
about it, haven't we? We've spoken about me perhaps coming up and doing some stuff with you, which would be great. I'm up for that massively, mate.
If you ever get called up from any of these Turkish hairdressing surgeons, I want you to do adverts for them, give us a shout. Say, try it out on me first before they put it into you.
Do you know Manual that do the TRT replacement now? Like the test, like for testosterone. So when they were just doing hair pills and I was still balding, they asked me to do an advert for them. And I said, I was like, oh, do you want it before and after? And they went, nah, it's fine. Just say what you've got is more than you have. And this was at a point where my hair was falling out and I was getting really depressed about it. So I had to sit and film in my bedroom while my ex was like pissing herself in the corner going, and these tablets, look how much hair I've got back. And it was fucking, yeah. I've just done loads of bits and bobs, mate.
I bought some of the Alpacin, you know, that fucking German engineer, and that black shampoo. It's supposed to bring it in. I bought some of that. Fucking...
Is that what happened then?
Honestly, I just got fucking hairy toes. I'm like the largest fucking hobbit in fucking Liverpool.
Going back to adverts, have you seen that? Have you seen the Sky Bet advert with Micah Richards running through the marketplace? Yeah. I was in that, but not in that.
Your arse is in it, isn't it?
So
his arse was in curry. His arse was in curry.
Right, sorry.
I was it. Yeah, my back. It got a little bit of me tattoo in it. But that I went and did a day's filming in Bolton or wherever it was for that advert. And where Micah Richards is running through the market, I'm about fucking 50 yards that way, just walking up. They didn't use that footage. But my missus is like, I fucking can't believe you're not in it. I'm like, well, I got paid, fuck it. That was only an extra. It was mad. I was on set, actually doing stuff for about 20 minutes. And that was it. I just went there for the day. I was there from 11 till about 7 at night, and just fucking that there. I didn't even go. That's the world, isn't it? That's the world of like extra work. I've kind of said to the agent that I work with on that I want to kind of get into more walk-on roles rather than extra work now, because I kind of did I will still do stuff if it's good. Like I did a bit on the Sherwood drama, so I'm hoping there's a couple of scenes where I might get a bit of footage on that, but.
Nice.
Yeah, but I've done a bit that should be coming out soon. I posted the trailer for it on Facebook, and it's exactly the same. The channel own the footage, so they won't give you the reel. So you've kind of like got to wait until it comes on and fucking film it like all arsey like, haven't you, with your phone? It's a bit mad, really.
I think I think it has to wait a certain point in time before they can release it. Because when I did the other one, they said, "Oh, this is a social media campaign, and it's not. It's going to be on Spotify." The Euros that I did 2 years ago, so they instantly sent me that footage, and I forgot to update my show reel because I was kind of getting what I don't like about acting, and what I really love about comedy is the people you meet in comedy are so much better than the people you meet in acting. And don't get me wrong, the people that I met on the advert for the World Cup, I met some absolute belters, and that was really nice because that made me kind of fall in love with acting a little bit more because they were some really class people. But I've been to some acting gigs, and you go up to people and you go, "You all right? How you doing?" Going, "Excuse me, I'm running my lines," and it's like, "Oh, what's your line?" And they go, "I'll have a coffee, sir." And you're like, "And you're sat running that, are you, dickhead? Cool, fucking." I'm a comedian, mate. I've got to go on and just talk for 20 minutes, and if I fuck it up, I can't get a retake. And I think I would genuinely say, and not in an arrogant sense, but I think a lot of comedians think this: stand-up comedy is so much more difficult than acting, and if you can really project yourself and put that character on when you go on stage, you get takes done in acting way quicker, and I think you get a much better response because actors will be like, "All right, can I just do that one bit again?" And they focus way too much on one little words, whereas we've got to think about 10-minute blocks in our heads, or if we've got a 5-minute bit, we know the timing or we know the punctuality, and you don't get retakes on comedy. Once it happens, it's out there. Do you have a fucking iPhone? Is this a power bank? What's this? As I talk to my assistant. And future guest, Sean.
Oh, is Sean there?
Yeah.
Hello, mate. Hello, you sexy
It's
bastard.
the longest I've ever been fucking quiet in my life.
I've been puffing away on my vape, mate. I thought we'd have realised you were there. How are you, brother?
Hang on. All right. Had a bit of a shitty day yesterday, but then rounded it off last night with me and Kane Brewster and Hella Fry and Maxine Wade and Thornley.
Nice.
We did a gig up in Leeds, and we all smashed it. Place called the White Swan. Proper nice little pub. Lovely crowd. Really good gig. Proper cheered me up.
Good.
And you're on the Funnyfarm Pod next Wednesday.
And I'm on the Funnyfarm Pod next Wednesday, yeah.
I don't know why. It looks to me like you're in bed together.
I know, you're like Bert and Ernie.
Hey, we just put tops on for the record.
They do look like Bert and
Straight up
Ernie.
Winnie the Pooh down there, bro.
I did say before you actually managed to get online today, Callum, I said to Charlie, I wonder if he's sucking Sean off because he's using his ass for his face.
Yeah. Like, how do you pay your friends back? But I tell you, just on the acting and the comedy thing, because my phone's on like 5-6%, so I'll give 2 last minutes before my phone dies. That's
what Sean's password is, isn't it? On his Wi-Fi.
2 short minutes.
Are you going to die? Is it going to be your phone's going to cut out and that's it?
No. I've got 9%, so I could get about another 6 minutes out. It's an iPhone, but the fact that I messaged Sean saying, "Hey, I've got a pod record Friday. My house is absolutely shit for Wi-Fi," and he just went, "Come round." And there's so many people in comedy that have rallied round me, and I don't mind saying this on pod because I'm doing a lot better. But on Monday, I attempted to drive off. Do you know the bridge in Rotherham going past New York Stadium?
Yeah. Oh, mate.
Tried to drive off it. So, but the reason I'm talking about it is because if we don't talk about it, there's people that are probably in the exact same position. But I just had a full-on. I've got a lot going on with the previous employer. I can't legally talk about it on any public forum. Things with my ex are always going to be ropey, but we are kind of talking better. And it just got to me, and it was I ended up on the crisis team, and thank God I drive a 2004 Corsa with shit tiny wheels and couldn't get up and over the curb. But I was driving home, I was crying, I just wanted to get home. I got to the bridge, and it just happened because I was like, I can't feel this anymore. But over the past couple of days, people like Sean, big shout out to April Louise, James Smith, James Hasham, Matt Helliwell, or however I say his second name, yourself, so many people in comedy called me. They said, when are we going out for coffee? Come see me. How can I help? Come do a gig with me. I'm going out to Beverley next Wednesday. I'm not even on the bill, but April and James Smith just said, come with us. Just come spend some time with us. Get out of the house. And yesterday, I cleaned my room to such a extent, like underneath my bed is spotless. Like the wardrobe's all arranged. I got rid of a bunch of clothes. I just did a massive clean out. I've hung up some loads of photos of my boy on the wall. Some just artwork that my dad had sent me. I just made my living space a wee bit better because I needed to clear my mind. And that's that. Comedy's done that. Comedy's helped me because there's so much shit going on in the rest of my life. The most reliable part about it is people like Sean, people like yourselves, gigs, and the people I've met there. And I know people will be like, oh, what about your boy? People don't understand about depression is you could be holding your son and everyone thinks, well, that's a reason to stay. But your brain's telling you, you'd be better off. He'd be better off without you. He'd be better off with no dad than a shit dad. And that thought destroys a man. And no woman will understand it. I get that women have their own depression and stuff, but male depression is so quiet and so silent and then eventually blows up. And I'm doing better. I'm happy to talk about it because I am doing better. I'm going back to Andy's Man Club, which I know we're all massive proprietor of. We all big up support them. Big massive shout out to Andy's Man Club. If you're watching this, it's every Monday, 7 till 9. Go online, Google it, find your nearest centre, go and talk. If you don't want to talk, you can just sit there. But yeah, I'm doing a lot better. And I was buzzing to get on this podcast and talk to you and be happy and show everyone that I am happy. Well, happier. I'm getting there. I'm putting a lot of things in place to get a lot better. And this Saturday, I'm doing the Sons of Jericho charity gig, which is in Derby. Oh, he asked me to promote it. Where are you? I know I've gone here. I'm just getting the thing up.
Is this Russ?
No, not that one. This is it's Electric Daisy Derby. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet, cool. Sean asked me to give you the details on the pod. I promised him I would. Oh, sugar, where is it? Fuck it. Yeah, here it is. So, it's Electric Daisy in Derby. 4th of July is to raise money for Jericho House, a rehab in Derby, as they move from a 9-bed to 18-bed rehab. Starts at 12 p.m, finishes at 10 p.m. Tickets are available on Skiddle or follow Sons of Jericho on Facebook, Insta, or TikTok. There's loads of live bands. There's a DJ, arts and crafts, family stuff. So I'm closing out a 10-minute set there with a bunch of other comedians. Ollie Oakley, I think she's on, Anthony Williams, some really, really good comedies. So because I am now that we're in July, I am officially 1 year free of Class A drugs. Nothing has passed this nostril. Not ever going to do it again.
Massive milestone.
Brilliant, mate. Well done.
Milestone. And just to say to our viewers, our listeners, be kind to people, because Calum, you wouldn't have thought that Calum had gone through anything over the last few days. With that interview that we've just been through with him, he's just like being normal, his normal crazy self. You wouldn't think he'd had any of these problems, and that's what mental health's all about. People hide things, but luckily he's got a good bunch of friends around him
I think just to add to that, I'll mirror that completely. You look at Callum, good-looking lad, well kept, and you wouldn't you wouldn't imagine that that's what somebody going through life issues and depression, anxiety, paranoia, all that kind of stuff looks like. So yeah, men's mental health. I mean, we like I say, everyone's mental health matters, but obviously we're all blokes, we all suffer. And when I had my counselling years ago, the first thing they said to me is you've just got to talk, you've got to talk about it, get it out your head. And I'll say exactly the same as what I said to Sean. You can ring me anytime, mate. Ring me anytime. And I'll happily have a chat with you. Charlie will as well.
Anytime,
I'm
mate.
so glad you've got a shit car.
Yeah.
I've never been happier to be scammed in a motor ever in my fucking life. Those shocks are fucking shit. Thank God.
So happy. So happy you've got a shit car. Really, really.
But again, I think that's something that you see with a lot of performative arts people, actors, comedians, and stuff like that. We're so used to being able to go on stage and go, "Hey," that it becomes second nature, and nobody really delves into what's kicking on back here. And again, the amount of people that when I hit rock bottom on Monday, it wasn't even a question. Do you know, you get these people like, "Oh, if you want to go for a coffee," people were like, "What's your address? I'm coming round."
Yeah.
And they were phoning me until I picked up, sending me messages going, "I will call you for 3 hours until you pick up the phone and fucking speak to me." And I did. And I got shit out. And I spoke to my dad. I spoke to my mum. I spoke to my boy. I'm taking my son to the Electric Daisy Festival tomorrow because it's an all-day family event. So just to be able to have my son get to see me on stage, and obviously not to spoil what I'm going to do. Chris, you know my bit about Archie naming and colouring stuff. I'm going to get him to come on stage. I'm going to hold my boy to close out my show at a charity gig for a cause I really, truly believe in, when my son's seeing me proud and everyone cheering for me. And that is a moment that I'm going to hold on to for the rest of my fucking days. I know I am.
That's absolutely marvellous, mate. Well, look, we've come to the end, but look, please pick the phone up. Anyone out there, message me on Facebook. I'll happily talk to people who are going through stuff. I'm no expert, but I can certainly listen. And
Same here.
Yeah,
Same here.
So yeah, but fuck me, thank you, Vauxhall.
Yeah, thanks, Calum,
for being shy. Thank you ever so much for coming on, Callum. We normally do a showdown, but because your phone might die right in the middle of me losing the competition again. Did we do a showdown last time you were on, Cal?
No, because it fucking kept cutting in and out.
Right, you're going to have to come on again then, mate. And next time we'll do the showdown. But thanks ever so much, Cal. You know I love you to bits, mate. And I can't wait to gig with you again soon. Same with Sean. It's such a nice community we've got in the comedy world. Specifically, like you got your mates, haven't you? And like you and Sean and all the rest of those guys you mentioned earlier, they'll be my mates for life. And I'll, if you ever need anything, you know where I am. And please reach out. Anyone out there,
and me as well,
please
mate.
reach out. Men's mental health really does matter. It's, I'm not putting down any ladies out there suffering with the mental health, but obviously we, from a guy's perspective, it needs talking about it. It needs talking about more. It needs help. There needs to be more of a focus on it in the NHS. Because I think a lot of the time we just crack on, we just keep it in our heads, and then, like you said, all of a sudden, bang, it goes, and that's it. So please, people out there, reach out to us, and be safe and be kind to yourself. Like Charlie said earlier, be kind to yourself. An old pal of mine once said, after I was in my 20s when I tried taking my own life, and he used to call me Brattle. Don't ask why. He said, "Brattle, you can't do fuck all when you're dead." And it kind of made sense, that. And I know it's a very obvious thing to say, but it made sense, and I sorted my shit out. And, I was saying to somebody the other day, I'll always have these issues. I'll always have this shit in my head. And, but it's managing that, isn't it? It's managing it and getting there. That's been
we still have those moments, don't we? We still have those moments, sweetie. So.
But if I can get over tomorrow, I will. What time are you on?
I think it's 6 till 7. I'll drop you a message. But it's a full day thing. It's going from 12 till 10. And just my phone's on 1%. Just before it cuts out. Mwah, massive love to you boys. I love you both to bits. Thank you so much for having me on. If you will ever grace me with the presence of being on again, we'd fucking love it. And big shout out to Sean. See you on soon.
We'll see you soon, mate. Thank you ever so much for joining us, buddy. We love you too.
See you guys.
No worries. See you soon, boys.
Wow.
Well, that's we're still on.
That pod was brilliant.
We're still recording, mate. We're still recording.
That pod was brilliant.
It's I think, like, just to close the pod out, mate. That we didn't have a chance to chat to Calum before that pod, and I didn't know that had happened to him. But please, people out there, like Charlie said, for like 35, 40 minutes of that pod, you would never have imagined that guy was going through anything like that. And he's a lovely guy. Thank fuck his car was wank.
Be nice to yourself and be nice to others. You don't know what other people are going through either, do you? You
can't tell. You just can't tell. So please write into us at hello@funnyfarmpod.co.uk. Follow us on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Follow me on Facebook, Chris Richmond. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Chris Rich Comedian. And that was a great
Get me out of this shirt. Three little drops. Come on, I need to get out of it. Fucking hell, 219, 919, 920, 919, 920. I've fucking lost my ear the last few days. Come on, guys.
Yeah. He had a full head of hair, didn't he, last time you saw him? Anyway, love you all. See you next time.
See you guys.